Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Langley Event Center, home of the Spartans. This evening in the Canada West Women's Volleyball Championship Final, we welcome the University of Alberta Pandas as they take on the home team, your Trinity Western University Spartans. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise if you are able and remove your hats and join in the singing of the national anthem. The officials for this evening are Calvin Liu, Gladys Lai, and on the lines of Michael Yee, Fred Setterington, Nick Trand, and Marcus Vanderveen. Before we meet the teams, we would like to recognize a Canada West Major Award winner from one of these teams. Would you please join me in congratulating the Canada West Women's Volleyball Player of the Year from the University of Alberta, number 11, Corey White. Congratulations, Corey, on an excellent season. And now it's time to meet the starting lineups. Starting for Alberta, number 2, Elise Hart. Number 6, Julia Zonneveld. Number 7, Janae Eisler. Number 8, Vanessa Jarman. Number 9, Sydney Warchola. Number 11, Corey White. Number 15, Aaron Corbett. Number 17, Delaney Patrick. Pandas are coached by head coach Lori Eisler.
Tight to the net and right back down by guess who? Michaelin Sitch. Here's Puchalowski once again. A big swing and drops that. For Goodman, and the denial coming from Hillary Howe. Here's Purdy once again, and she will get it. What a cross. Howe with a big kill. Oh, it catches the line.
Oh, there it is. Oh, my goodness.
You can't stop me! Over to Savannah Purdy for the win. Going off the block, it scores. And a huge kill from Michaelin Sitch. Goes to command. Just cleanly handled. Out of the middle, it's Michaelin Sitch. You can't stop me! Block there by Hempel in the middle. That's not an option. And the Trinity Western University Spartans are your 2019 Canada West champions. You can't stop me!
Trinity Western University Spartans! Starting for the Spartans in her third year out of Calgary, number 4, the setting sensation, Dora Kamrati. In her fourth year out of Calgary, number 6, the volleyball cheat code, Hillary Howe. In her second year out of Surrey, number 8, Ansa O'Doon. In her second year on officer, libero number 10, Emma Gamache. In her third year out of Langley, number 13, Avery Hempel. In her second year out of Victoria, number 15, Savannah Purdy. And in her fifth year out of Adri, number 18, McKaylin Sitch. Spartans are coached by head coach Ryan Hofer.
Alberta Golden Bear, or the Alberta Pandas have only lost 4 sets since that time. They've shown a lot of resolve in winning 2 playoff series, going the distance. They have the Player of the Year on their team, and there are certain coaches you never underestimate, and I can assure you Lori Eisler is one of them.
Lori Eisler in her 28th season, and you alluded to it, Player of the Year in the Canada West, Corey White. Watch out for her wearing number 11 in white. 4.78 kills per set during the regular season. Number 1 in the Canada West, and there she goes to work hitting that cross court to answer O'Doom. Kamladi going over to Hilary Howe, and Howe was second in the Canada West in kills per set. O'Doom, big push over to Howe, had to readjust her approach, sends this down. This goes off of Sothe. Diving for it is Janae Eisler, and it's the Spartans fans who are cheering first here at the Langley Event Center.
Great pushback by Hilary Howe there. You saw the 2 best players probably on the court, and White and Howe both getting shots in that first rally.
Savannah Purdy, the second year out of Victoria, gets this serve across. Here's Hart, back over. And now Corbett sending this down the line. Hart, Corbett, goes off the block. Anso Doom keeps the ball alive with a pancake, and that's sent over by Kamladi. A scramble on the Pandas side. Sothe will play this over high. Purdy takes it along the back line. Kamladi stepping around is Sitch, the captain of the team, tipping it over. And this drops in. Point for the Pandas. Vanessa Jarman ultimately finishing things off.
Great defense on both sides there, Tim. Alberta winning that in the end.
Here's Corey White, as we mentioned, number 1 in the Canada West in kills per set. Also hitting an impressive 271 through the regular season. Serves this hard to Hilary Howe. There's the setter dump. And a middle attack able to work its way through. Vanessa Jarman once again picking up a kill, so the Pandas now ahead 2-1.
Great job by Alberta there in transition, running that middle, making sure they establish that early on here.
The Trinity Western Spartans, the defending Canada West champions. Can they make it 2 in a row? Kamladi on the move, passes this ball over to Hilary Howe, and she is blocked. And Jarman once again, that's a name I've said over and over early on, with Alberta now leading by 2. And just a reminder, we've opened up the inbox, CanadaWestTV@gmail.com. Let us know where you're watching from, which team you're cheering for, and any thoughts on the match, as Corey White is charged with a serve error. And more fans continue to file in. And look at this, Ron. I think some of the students, maybe on the soccer team or basketball team, whatever they are, dressed up in capes, colorful uniforms. It's about to get loud here at the LEC. Championship Saturday, not 1 but 2 championships on the line. Women's and men's volleyball here in the Canada West. Kamladi, the set from the backcourt. Here's Howe trying to work her way through and can't do it. Elise Hart, the starting setter for Alberta, getting up there alongside Jarman.
Yeah, that's a couple of stops on Howe right now. She's going to have to figure that one out and be chipping off the block and getting things around that and into the Alberta backcourt.
Jump serve finds its way to Howe. Kamladi off the give and go. Sends this one cross court. Point for the Spartans. Janae Eisler unable to take up the ball.
There you go. That's how. Get that sharp cross court, force it into the backcourt. A lot of power on that ball.
Dora Kamladi picking up the assist. Kamladi will now go back to serve, and this can be a dangerous rotation for the Spartans. You have O'Doom, who can hit a heavy ball from the right side, Howe on the left, and Kamladi serving. Gets that over to Eisler. Zonneveld is blocked. The reaction by the Spartans, maybe not a good one here as the play is blown down. And it's a lift called against Trinity Western, so only one serve out of Kumlati in a rotation that the Spartans typically like to capitalize on. Emma Gamache in this serve received, the starting libero for Trinity Western. This ball goes to the right of her. And there's Avery Hempel with the tip.
That's a really nice run to get the middle going. They really have to establish that against the Bears to keep that, Pandas to get that, keep them off balance.
Here's another tough server for Trinity Western, Hillary Howe. Her brother Jackson Howe will be in action later on as the Spartans men take on the Golden Bears. Out of the back row is Corey White. She is so impressive from the front row and the back row as well. 2-point advantage for Alberta. We are live here at the Langley Event Center. More and more fans continuing to file in. It is going to be a sold-out crowd in just a matter of moments. Kumlati over to Savannah Purdy, and the sophomore with a good swing. She scores from the left side.
That's a good shot off the top of the block there. Good use of that. You got to get the ball a little bit closer to the net, help the offense to run there, but that was a really good hit from the wing side.
Still a different looking start than the last time these teams met in the season opener. It was the Spartans going out to a 5-0 run to start things off in the first set. That was back in Edmonton in October. Zonneveld going to work. This goes off the block. Kumlati looking at Sitch, but instead goes behind to O'Doom, who scores.
That's exactly what the Spartans want to be doing. Slow that ball down, get the ball back in system, and then let the wing hitters pound away.
Here's Avery Hempel in her third season. Hempel, Canada West second-team All-Star. Julia Zonneveld also named to that team. And Zonneveld has the ball go off of her, so Hempel picking up the ace, and it's the Spartans now out in front by one.
Yeah, early on you can see the strategy from the coaches a little bit. The serves are going to Howe and the serves are going to Zonneveld.
Janae Eisler in the center of this serve receive. This ball clipping the tape. And a right side attack by Zonneveld. Side out for the Pandas.
Julia Zonneveld gets herself to the service line.
Julia Zonneveld in her third season. She's from Calgary. And her hometown will be hosting nationals next weekend. Gamache, here's Kumlati. Going over to Michaelan Sitch, and the captain scores.
Michaelan Sitch with authority.
That's a really good set. Set her slightly off the net there, able to find the middle blocker and put that one away.
Double substitution like we've seen throughout the season for the Spartans. But it's Jaden Bonkiss who is coming in to play front row instead of Megan Mealy. And in the back is Olivia Heinen. You can see there she will be taking over as setter for Trinity Western. Elise Hart with the back set. Corey White going to work, redirects off the block, takes out this setter. Roll shot by Savannah Purdy, who already has a kill in this one. Zonneveld out of the back row goes to Hillary Howe. Purdy scores.
Again, really nice shot. Both these teams are going to be totally willing to play that game and wear each other down, picking the ball up in the backcourt. But nice finish by Trinity there.
Olivia Heinen initially at the start of the season in a battle with Dora Kumlati for this starting position. Kumlati eventually winning that one out. It was Bree King who was the starting setter last year.
Down at the net, number
Middle
9,
attack.
Sydney Warchola.
Sydney Warchola picking up the kill.
Good pushback by Alberta there. Quick set down the middle. Tough to stop that.
So Emma Gamache and her teammates get set up. Back in this serve receive. This ball goes to Gamache. On the move is Heinen, passes this. And Howe able to take it. Middle attack and a kill for Vanessa Jarman, who is off to an impressive start.
Really good job. You can see Alberta's leaning on their middles a little bit here. Maybe thinking that Trinity's going to cheat to White a little bit, but they're doing a really good job finishing the ball.
Gamache. Here's Howe, this second ball. Jane Bonkiss looking for her first kill and just goes out of bounds. Point for the Pandas. And both teams still with both of their timeouts. Lori Eisler, she's up, shouting direction at her team. Ryan Hofer gets out of his seat now, goes for a little bit of a walk. And Howe misplays this one. Bonkiss able to track this down. And Howe sends this between the antennas. Pandas going to work. Can they capitalize? Jarman fakes a right side attack by White. And the kill for the Pandas.
Yeah, they are going to be a tough team if you let them sit in system there. And you can see they've established the middle. then they're able to go back to White with a big kill on the right side.
Yeah, it was Vanessa Jarman who really got off to a hot start. Couple of kills already. There's Olivia Heinen. Goes back to Sitch. And a middle attack, and Jarman
Down the middle.
picking up another. And Ryan Hofer using his first timeout with his team trailing by 3 points in the opening set.
Both teams are doing a good job here, but Trinity's going to have to shore up their passing a little bit. They're a little bit out of system, giving Alberta the ball, and it's a little too easy because Alberta's coming back in system. They're able to establish middle, and when you can do that, it's going to give White a lot of freedom on that right side. So Trinity's going to have to solve this and keep them off the net a little bit more.
Once again, we've opened up the inbox. If you'd like to get in touch with us, CanadaWestTV@gmail.com. You can also tweet or use Instagram using the hashtag WinTheWest. Let us see where you're watching from right now. If you're at a big viewing party at the University of Alberta, let us know. Hashtag WinTheWest. We'd love to see that. And we'll mention some of those tweets, Instagrams, and emails during the broadcast. Tim James and Ron Pike with the call. This is the first of 2 matches here at the Langley Event Center. Still to come on the men's side, the number 1 team versus the number 2 team in the country, the Spartans versus the Golden Bears. And it's the Alberta Pandas who are first to break out of that timeout. Spartans will now get set up in the serve receive. Sydney Warchola in her 5th season. Hillary Howe in this serve receive as well, and this goes to Gamache. Heinen. Jaden Bonkus picking up her first kill.
That's a really nice kill from the wing there. First one she missed slightly out of bounds. Second one she finds that back line. Really good shot.
Gamache picking up the dig. Just a single libero system for the Spartans. Pandas like to go with 2 liberos. Gamache on the move, passes this ball up, readjusting is Howe, and she goes off the block to score.
That's really nice to see from Hillary. Getting in, seeing that ball high, knowing she can score, and taking a really big rip at that ball. Blocked just slightly out of bounds.
Now the Spartans with win 1, and Purdy gets this ball across, and this drops in for an ace. Zonneveld and Eisler were right there, but both were backing up, lose track of the ball.
Great serve, builds a little momentum here for Trinity. Let's see what we can do now.
Purdy once again, standing serve. There's the tip. Gamache going back over to Howe. Lots of volume to the left side for the Spartans to start off this set. And the block goes up. Sitch and Bonkus. Point for Trinity Western, and a great timeout call by Spartans coach Ryan Hofer.
Trinity's got a little bit of their rhythm on the block, and you're going to see a very dynamic block there, and they're able to close on the outside there.
Let's see if Purdy and the Spartans can continue the momentum. Purdy, Heinen, back over to Howe, sends that cross court and scores. Another kill for Hillary Howe, and that is 5 straight points for the Spartans, and Lori Eisler says enough is enough. She uses her first timeout. Ron, the momentum completely switching. What the heck did head coach Hofer say to his team?
To be honest, I'm not sure what Ryan said to them, but one of the keys for Alberta is going to have to keep Trinity out of system. And the last few points, Trinity has been able to stay in system, get balls to the wing, and they're going to really punish them. So Alberta's probably going to take a little breather here, try to get the serve, or try to get their reception up towards the net and reestablish their rhythm in this game.
Kathy Howe sending us a note saying, hello, I'm watching from Drayton Valley, Alberta, cheering for the Spartans and shouting loud for my niece, Hillary Howe. Kathy, great to have you with us on the broadcast. Hillary Howe, of course, named to that Canada West first team of All-Stars, along with Corey White. 2 of the best attackers in the Canada West going head-to-head tonight. Howe versus White. And White, just this past week, being named the Canada West Player of the Year. And there is White, a good timeout call by Lori Eisler as her team responds first and draws back within 1 point.
Great timeout, ball right to the net, allows White to get a little bit of a split there, and she killed the ball.
Here's White serving. Goes to Gamache, mishandles it. Purdy calls off her teammates, plays the second ball. Howe going to work once again. She has seen a lot of volume early on. Out of the back row is White. Here's Howe. Goes off of hands and scores.
Really good shot by Hillary there, off the top of hands. knocking that ball right out the baseline. Very powerful shot from Hillary.
Howe is now up to 5 kills on the night. Savannah Purdy with 2 for the Spartans. Vanessa Jarman up to 4 for the Pandas. Here's the captain, Michaela Sitch. You can see the wrap around her right arm. She was coming off of an injury late in the regular season. There's Avery Hempel going up, and the ball goes down. And Ron, we were talking about it here as we hit the technical timeout. Spartans up by 3 points. But some question, will we see the same amount of volume going to Michaela Sitch as we would if she was completely healthy? You're confident, you know what, here we are, Canada West final. I know Nationals just a few days away, but you're confident she's going to see a lot of volume tonight.
Yeah, my take on that is if she's on the floor, they're gonna use her and keep their rhythm going with her. Maybe some slight adjustments, or maybe give her a bit of a break in the back row. But she's an effective player, really fast arm, and the Spartans are going to need her through this night.
And we have another email coming into CanadaWestTV@gmail.com. Boy, this crowd just great here at the LEC. But Morning Java saying a shout out to libero serving sub #1 Callista Knappett, friend and follower. So there we go, a couple of shout outs, one for Hillary Howe, the other for Knappett. Well, thank you so much for joining us. CanadaWestTV@gmail.com. We like to be the most connected broadcast in all of the Canada West. So Olivia Heinen and her teammates taking to the floor. It'll be Michaela Sitch serving once again. Janae Eisler getting set up in the serve receive. Sitch sending it across in Zonneville. We'll watch that one go out of bounds. As mentioned, Sitch coming off of that injury that had her out of the lineup for the last 3 weeks of the season, although that did include a bye week. But she returned in the playoffs and has played throughout. Captain of the team, here's Heinen going over to Avery Hempel. And the Spartans will score. That first will score here on this rally and lead by 3.
That was a real key pass. Hillary Howe has been able to keep her composure there, put the ball to the net, run the middle. You can see Alberta every once in a while is pushing that ball back to Howe. So she stepped up there. Great pass.
And once again, we see the double sub. So the last time around, you may remember Dora Kamladi unable to really go on a run there. She only had 1 serve. Let's see what she can do this time. Sends it across. The joust at the net, and the Pandas are able to win this one. So once again, only 1 serve for Kamladi. And that's got to be something the Pandas, and especially Lori Eisler, are happy about, keeping Dora controlled from behind the service line.
Yeah, Kamladi has been able to get a number of runs the last few matches she's been playing, and very effective server.
Kamladi going over to Ansa O'Doom. Pokes this one over. And O'Doom looked uncomfortable playing that ball, but the Pandas just equally uncomfortable getting to that. An ugly one, but a point for Trinity Western.
Yeah, that was a bit of a tough one to pick up. I don't think anybody quite anticipated that was going to be that short.
And that is the rotation that sometimes the Spartans will have trouble with Ansa O'Doom on the left side, Hillary Howe on the right. But Howe now back to serve. Out of the back is Corey White, and a quick side out.
Really good shot from Corey White there. They're going to start looking to her as this match heads towards 20 and starts tightening up.
Gamache in the serve receive with Howe to the right, Purdy to the left. Trinity Western up by 2. Set number 1. Gamache going in front of Howe to pick up that ball, and Hempel going to the attack, and she is blocked. A solo block as Warchola gets up there at 5'11", up against Hempel at 6'4". The noise picking up once again, but the collection of students on the Trinity Western side, so maybe it'll be a little more challenging come the second set when the Pandas have to serve from that side. Hempel fans on it, but still gets the ball across. Hart with a back set, and White drops this one in as Howe's diving over to her left. Point for the Pandas.
Really good job in transition again, and you know the ball's going out there, but White's going to be an effective player, and she got the kill there.
Elise Hart serving. Mariah Walsh no longer the starting setter for Alberta after graduating last season. Part of that bronze medal team. Was able to pick up the 3rd place finish at Nationals last year at the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton. There is Hempel, there is O'Doom. A big block for the Spartans, who are back ahead by 1.
That was a big block. Alberta got pushed a little bit out of system there, and they caught her on the wing.
Avery Hempel now. 6 aces throughout the playoffs. Kamladi. And so Doom, as she's blocked. Coverage was there. Kamladi going over to Savannah Purdy. Right side didn't work, left side didn't work. Alberta going to the attack now, and play is blown down. I believe the Spartans might have been called on the net there. And a point for the Pandas.
Good job by the Pandas here to keep this game tight. They want to stay with the Spartans and keep this match as tight as they can, heading after 20.
Gamache. Kamladi. There's Michaela Sitch who scores. So Kamladi picking up another assist, and this is her first full season as a starter. Of course, Bree King, the previous starter, who went off to play professionally. And by the way, Bree King joining us online right now, saying she's there in Germany watching with her girls, cheering on Trinity Western. Bree, great to have you with us, member of the Canadian women's national team. Meantime, Corey White from the right side once again.
Again, a really nice run by the Pandas there, just to get the ball behind the setter a little bit, and again, it's White with the kill.
Kamladi set from the backcourt. Savannah Purdy rolling this one over. Hart takes it at an angle. It looked like her teammate might have been set up to play that ball. She plays it instead, and the Spartans back out in front by 1.
Yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate touch there. Usually Alberta's pretty good in the backcourt there, and they probably would have picked that up.
Tim James and Ron Pike with the call. Set number 1 here at the LEC. Canada West Championship. Corey White is just so good. Goes down the line. Gets that by the block and gets the best of Emma Gamache.
Another really good kill. You know, big players are going to be showing up in tight matches, and White's definitely showing her worth there.
White now up to 8 kills on the night, 13 attacks. Eisler with the first contact. Hart pushing this over. Corbett trying to go through the block. O'Doom picks this up. Kamladi, big push over to Howe. It's dug up, however. Gamache. Kamladi will the second time be a charm. This one sent out of bounds. And a point for the Pandas.
Good patience by Alberta there to keep in the play and just wait for the mistake by Trinity.
And Aaron Corbett's mom and dad sending us a note saying they're watching from Edmonton right now, cheering for the Pandas with a panda emoji. Thank you so much for joining us. To the Corbett parents, Sitch going to work. There's Hart. Middle attack dug up by Gamache. Nice job by the second-year libero. And that White has the ball come right back at her. I don't know if the block was intentionally played like that, but it worked out. And Hillary Howe, this ball goes off of Sonneveld. Howe and the Spartans tie this thing up at 22.
What an unbelievable rally. Both liberos on both sides making fantastic digs, and then Hillary Howe finishing that with a fantastic cross-court shot.
This brings up Michaela Sitch. 12 aces during the playoffs. She's played in all 18 sets so far. And this goes off of Sonneveld. You mentioned it earlier on, Ron, that Sonneveld is getting targeted on one side, Howe more or less getting targeted on the other. And here we go, Lori Eisler using her second and final timeout.
Yeah, really good serve there by Sitch. But you can see the receiving targets for both teams are pretty evident here. They're waiting for those key times to make sure the ball's delivered to them, then see whether they can step up and pass the ball.
A couple more Spartans fans tuning in. Grandpa Gamache and Uncle Pete watching from Fillmore, Utah. So there we go. I think that's the first email we've had from Fillmore, Utah. So to Grandpa Gamache and Uncle Pete, thank you so much for joining us. Canada West TV at gmail.com. That's how you can join us. This is set number 1 here at the LEC. Championship Saturday with 2 matches on the schedule. The men's match still to come featuring the number 1 and number 2 team. But Ron, here we are with the number 1 and number 4 team. And the results of this, of course, will determine or help determine the seeding for that national tournament going on next week.
Yeah, the national tournament is obviously what these teams are playing for. The seeds, we're not quite sure where they're going to be at yet, but both of these teams are going to be in for a tough go at nationals, but both of them will be have a fantastic opportunity there as well.
Kamladi with the back set over to Avery. Hempel drops this in. Whizzes by the left shoulder of Sonneveld. And a point for the Spartans, drawing them within 1 point of taking this opening set.
Really good mix there by Kamladi to work the step around there. Great finish by Hempel.
And that block out of the middle coming over late, it opened up some room, so a point for Trinity Western. Sitch continuing to serve, but sends this ball out of bounds. Win by 2 scenario. But this must-win point for the Pandas. It was Alberta that took the first set of the regular season against the Spartans. Hempel stepping around. This goes over to Gamache. Kamladi, back set. Hempel forced to readjust, but she just paints the line. No! We had the linesman point it was in. The top official says it was out, and Hillary Howe coming over to check things out. Ron, what did you see?
I saw that ball out. It was a little bit beyond the baseline. I think the referee made a really good call there. Spartans have to regroup, get this pass up to the net, and get the side out.
But before we get there, a timeout call by Ryan Hofer, his second timeout here at 24-24. He took his first timeout back when it was 9-12 in favor of the Pandas, and the Spartans would then go on a 5-point run. So last time around, it worked out for him.
Really good timeout on behalf of Hofer. Sometimes those calls that don't go your way can be a little bit rattling. Just take them off, settle his team down, get them back to receive that first ball. They're still in a really good position in this set.
The Trinity Western Spartans, the Alberta Pandas, leading the way in kills for the Spartans is Hillary Howe, who is up to 5. And Julia Zonneveld with a couple. And Julia's dad joining us, Paul Zonneveld, saying power to the Pandas. Thank you so much for joining us live on Canada West TV. Good mix of Spartans fans and Pandas fans watching online. Howe misplays this ball. Gamache will take the second one. And off the give and go. This redirects off the block. Point Trinity Western. They're back out in front by 1.
Good job by Howe after not passing that ball to where she wanted to. Still come in, get a really good cut at that ball. Off the Pandas and out of bounds.
And once again, all eyes on Dora Kamladi. She's only had 1 serve on the last 2 go-arounds. But this could be a huge point if she's able to get an ace here. Janae Eisler in a panic position. That ball goes way up, almost making contact with a basketball hoop here at the LEC. Hempel's middle attack. And the block goes up. Howe, Hempel, the Spartans taking this first set in extended points, 26-24. It is electric here in Langley. Stay with us. You are watching U Sports Women's Volleyball Playoffs, the Canada West Championship, live on Canada West TV.
Co-op Community Spaces is creating places for everyone. We're funding community projects up to $150,000. Apply online before March 2nd. For more details, visit communityspaces.ca.
Alberta's Corey White has landed the top honor in Canada West Women's Volleyball. The 4th-year outside hitter was named Wednesday as the conference's player of the year after leading the Pandas attack all season long. White led the conference in kills per set at 4.78, while being one of only 2 players in the conference with more than 1,000 total attacks. The conference's rookie of the year is UBC Okanagan's Amaya Perry, who led a strong first-year group for the Heat. Her win marks the first of its kind for UBCO, who first competed in Canada West during the 2011-12 season. Thompson Rivers' Kendra Finch is a student athlete community service award winner thanks to her extensive volunteer work for the Wolfpack, including on their I Believe You campaign to raise awareness for sexualized violence. Rounding out the winners is McEwen's Ken Briggs, who is the coach of the year. He guided the Griffins to their first Canada West playoff appearance in program history thanks to a 17-7 record. The final conference game of the season is set for Saturday, March 7th, as the Alberta Pandas travel to take on the Trinity Western Spartans in the Canada West Championship game. The game is scheduled for 7 p.m. Pacific and can be seen on Canada West TV, presented by Co-op. A winner of 5 embodied the University of Alberta's women's volleyball dynasty of the 1990s. Benke was a power hitter with Pandas from 95-96 to 99-2000, a span that saw Alberta win both the CIAU and Canada West Championship every season. In her final 2 seasons, she served as the team's co-captain. Along with unprecedented team success, Benke received scores of individual honors, most prominently her CIAU Female Athlete of the Year Award in 99-2000 and the CIAU Women's Volleyball Player of the Year Award in 98-99 and 99-2000. Benke represented Canada at the Fisher Games 3 times, and following her university career, went on to spend several years with the Canadians.
Welcome back inside the Langley Event Center. Tim James and Ron Pike with the call. Great to have you with us. And Ron, a lot of attention coming into this one on the Canada West Player of the Year, Corey White. And of course on Trinity Western's Hilary Howe, 2 of the top swingers in the Canada West. But we saw the middle really stand out there in the opening set.
All 4 middles were great there. They were on time in transition, making sure that the ball went through. They did a good job blocking, and it definitely kept both teams a little bit off balance through the middle there. So they did a really good job in that first set. We'll see how they pick up on second.
Sydney Warchola to get us underway, sends this ball across Gamache with the first contact. Kamladi back set over to Michaela Sitch, and Sitch drops this in, and the Spartans will score first.
Really nice pass by Gamache there to start this second set off right to the net. Allows Trinity again to run that middle.
This brings up Sitch. Up at the net for the Spartans, you have Howe hitting onto the left side, Hempel in the middle, and Kamladi setting out to the right. O'Doom gets underneath the ball. Kamladi going over to Howe. And Sothe with a good reach keeps the ball alive, and this ball will go up. And the block goes up as well on the Spartan side. Play is blown down. The Pandas will score.
Fantastic pickup by Zonneveld in the back corner there. Allowed Alberta to get the ball back over to the Trinity side and score the point.
So this brings up Corey White. Coming into tonight, 6 aces during the playoffs, 17 service errors as well. Savannah Purdy in the center of this serve receive. Gamache to her right, Howe to the left, and Howe takes the ball. Gamache from outside of the court pops this one up, and Howe sends this over. Elise Hart out of the back. Going down the line is White, and she is so good from the front, from the back, but also her line shot as well has been impressive tonight.
Really good shot by White. Gamache a little bit out of position there, but again, really good shot down the line.
Gamache just in her 2nd season of eligibility. Janae Eisler, the libero, out there on the court right now in her 3rd year. The daughter of Lori Eisler. This drops in, and White picking up an ace.
Really good serve. Caught the baseline there. Gives Alberta a little bit of breathing room at 3-1.
And so Doom the farthest back in his serve receive. Purdy in the middle. Gamache to the right. Howe to the left. This goes to Purdy. Kamladi on the move. Howe looking to tip this one. Can't get through the block. Second ball from Kamladi, and Howe puts some power into it. Trying to go cross court, but couldn't get through. Vanessa Jarman. Something to celebrate there in Edmonton. She's on fire tonight, and the Pandas jumping out to a 4-1 lead in the second set.
Really stable block on the outside there. They weren't going to beat that.
White will continue to serve, and this ball goes out of bounds. Checking the email, and Joe and Irene Hofer watching from Bragg Creek, Alberta. Typically they're watching from Kelowna, but Bragg Creek, Alberta here tonight. Saying go Spartans go. Joe and Irene, thank you so much for joining us. Here's Dora Kamladi. Her last serve was a tough one. The Pandas able to do something with this, though. Out of the back is White. Hempel going up. O'Doom picks it up. Kamladi over to Howe, away from the net. This is blocked. Howe diving forward. Kamladi, the back set over to O'Doom. 2 blockers up, though, and Jarman celebrating with a fist pump. She gets a block up.
Again, really good job by Alberta. Stable on that block on the outside and able to push that back into the Spartans for a point.
Elise Hart is up there at the net. Setter for the Pandas, and this ball will drop in.
Little bit of a misread by Howe there. I think she thought it was a little further to the right. Really good serve down the line.
Yeah, Howe is down the line. Kamladi standing next to her, and Kamladi running up to the net. This ball will go to a similar spot. Howe able to pick it up, though. Off the give and go. The block goes up. Jarman once again.
Really good job by the Pandas here. They've got Hillary's number, and they're really putting pressure on her from the baseline and also with the block.
Spartans coach Ryan Hofer directing some advice to Howe, and that's where the serve goes. No surprise, and Hempel drops this one in. A big side out for the Spartans because maybe we were only 1 point away from Howe using his first timeout in the second set.
Really good job again. Back to the middles. The middles are scoring tonight, doing a really good job there. Hempel with the kill.
Here's Howe. Hempel up front in the middle. O'Doom to the right. Purdy to the left. Joust at the net. Eisler able to pick that one up. Here's Sonneveld. Going across, and Gamache mishandles the ball. Cross-court shot for Sonneveld. And the Pandas back out in front by 5.
Really nice job by Eisler there to see that coming back and to pick that up. Give Alberta another chance.
Jarman with 4 kills on the night. A few blocks as well. Purdy. Kumlati. Here's O'Doom. She can hit a heavy ball and comes away from the right side, powers it off the block and scores.
Really like that set back to O'Doom. Kumlati's doing a good job making sure that all zones of the net are being attacked through. O'Doom did a good job getting that kill and finishing the play.
Avery Hempel. First touch by Sonneveld, and she'll also get third touch as well. Makes the contact. Kumlati. Back set over to O'Doom. Off the block, Elise Hart diving forward, gets there in time. Here's Sonneveld, sends it at a sharp angle and scores. And credit to Hart as well, good defense.
Really nice shot by Sonneveld there. You knew the block was going to be established. She was able to push it to the cross-court side and score.
And we have some fans cheering on Elise Hart right now. Eric, her brother, and sister-in-law also watching from Portland, Oregon and cheering hard. So we'll add Portland to the map, saying, "Go Pandas, thank you so much." Kumlati. Middle attack by Michaela Sitch. And the Spartans within 4 points, and here comes that double sub. Sitch able to work it through on the middle, so Olivia Heinen will go back to put this ball in play. Up at the net is Jaden Bonkiss. In her 3rd season, playing for her hometown school. She's from right here in Langley. Hart going over to White, picked up by Purdy. And Heinen looking for an assist, but Sitch was blocked. Here's Purdy. Forced to tip that one. It was ugly. Purdy going back to work again and scores. Hammers it off the block, and the sophomore puts the Spartans within 3.
Really smart play by Savannah there, hitting the ball off the top of the block and out the baseline.
Olivia Heinen's jump serve finds its way to Sonneveld. Sonneveld now making that attack. Gamache over to Purdy. And this time she goes the other direction, going down the line.
Really nice shot. I've seen Purdy a couple times here making some really good plays, not overpowering the ball, but finding really good spots. Really nice shot down the line.
Olivia Heinen, the sister of Danton Heinen, who plays in the NHL. Recently traded as well away from Boston. This will be close to the net, poked over, and Howe is diving across, but it's Sonneveld who comes away with the point for the Pandas. And Alberta, the first team to hit double digits in the second set.
Like that play by Sonneveld, really smart chip, pushing it a little bit deeper. Libero caught chasing that one a little bit, coming short.
Sonneveld goes to Purdy. Heinen, Sitch. And the block goes up as well, so Sitch, after making contact, able to hang with that one after a dig by Eisler. Lori Eisler, the head coach, clapping her hands, trying to get her team back into it. As the momentum's starting to shift here, the Spartans down by 2. Savannah Purdy jump serve, goes to Eisler. And out of the middle is White, and she's off the mark, so Trinity Western back within 1.
You know, I like what the setter's doing there. It's early in the second set. Want to make sure everybody's still involved. You're hitting through all 3 zones. You know, just a little bit outside on Alberta, but that's okay. Keeps Trinity staying in the middle of the court. Make sure that the offense is balanced so Alberta can keep going forward from there.
7:45 local time, 8:45 if you're watching live in Alberta. Thank you so much for joining us. Tanner sending us a note saying, shout out from Winnipeg. Apparently Tanner saying that he had concert tickets and then put Canada West women's volleyball on and now contemplating whether to go to the concert or not. I think stick with volleyball. That's my suggestion here. You can see the fans having a great time here at the LEC. The Pandas and the Spartans, both programs, Ron, very well respected. Obviously, Trinity Western just winning back in 2015, but Lori Eisler, one of the best coaches in women's volleyball as well.
Yeah, perennial contenders. Lori's been there for a long time. One of the best programs in Canada West and the country for sure.
Sothe out of the back, and that was one of the things that I was going to point out earlier on in the broadcast, that I expect to see more volume out of the back row attack for the Pandas compared to the Spartans. Really have Hilary Howe, who will make those back row approaches, but aside from that, the Spartans really haven't established that throughout the season.
Not a lot, but they really are a dynamic team, have a lot along the net, and with Howe's power up there, they'll be just fine.
Middle attack for the Pandas. This is Sydney Warchola picking up the kill. So Janae Eisler will head off. 6 white shirts out there for Alberta. Gamache moving over to her left, gets the ball to Heinen. Here's Howe, scores. And Eisler saying no touch there.
I couldn't quite tell. I was concentrating on the pass by Gamache. That was a fantastic pass to put the Spartans in a really good position to score that point.
And I was trying to take a look at the replay. I don't know if I saw a touch there either. Nonetheless, it will stand as a Spartans point. We are tied at 11-all. Sothe once again targeted off of the serve. Here's White tipping this ball over. Sitch down to the ground, but that ball, when she gets underneath, it almost fell on top of her. Tough time for her teammates to get there and retrieve it on the second contact.
Bit of an unfortunate touch. Would have been nice to have that a little bit higher, but Alberta scores the point.
All eyes once again on White, Canada West Player of the Year. Heinen over to Howe. Nice dig by Eisler. And Corbett going to the attack. Tips this one over. Heinen plays that one almost off the chest, and Howe sends this over. Can the Pandas capitalize? Elise Hart. The timing was a little bit off, but it ended up working out for Vanessa Jarman.
Nice finish again in transition. Alberta using that middle to score points.
The noise picking up once again, although I don't think it's had an impact on the serves, but let's see if Corey White can get this ball across. No problem. Goes to Purdy. Howe rolling this one in. Elise Hart on the move. And Corbett from outside of the court goes to Gamache. Heinen. Hempel. Here's Heinen. Hempel. Round number 2. It works out for the 6'4" middle. And Trinity Western back within 1.
You know, really good double sub by Hofer. Got the team back in it at the time, a little bit about 4-point spread there, so they did their job. Great work by those two ladies.
This brings up Dora Kumladi. 11 aces coming into tonight in the playoffs. 6 serve errors, so a great ratio. And coming into tonight, she's played in all 18 sets the Spartans have played in the postseason. Almost picking up. No, she will get an ace here. Lori Eisler can't believe it. Did the Pandas get underneath that in time?
Tough to see from back here, but usually the referees are on top of that one. They can see how the ball bounces, and that one looks like it was down.
So maybe Kumladi can get hot here from behind his service line. Back onto the Spartan side, Hempel on top of it. And this is more like what we've expected. The first few serves for Kumladi in this match, she was unable to go on a run, but here we go. Trinity Western has taken the lead 14-13, leading 1-0. After taking that opening set 26-24. Hart. And Corey White, you can count on her coming out of the back and picking up the kill.
Well done by Sothe there to stay with it, get the pass to the net, get the ball back to the Player of the Year. She kills the ball.
As Aaron Corbett goes back to serve, Savannah Purdy in that serve receive. And Jacob and Claire tuning in, cheering on Savannah Purdy and the Spartans, and watching live right now from Lethbridge. Hart diving forward, second ball from Eisler. Sothe plays this into the net. Spartans took a 3-point lead into the technical timeout in the opening set, and here they are up 15-14. Hart forced to tip this one. Gamache takes it down the line. Kumladi backs it over to Anso O'Doon. 2 blockers still up. Corbett picks it up in the back row. Eisler, and out of the back is White. Hammers that at the center, taking out Kumladi. And Savannah Purdy giving Jacob and Claire something to cheer about in Lethbridge. Trinity Western with a 2-point lead into the technical timeout. Ron, a set that the Pandas were in control of early on, but the Spartans able to fight back, and even without taking a timeout.
Pandas have to stay with it, though. The whole goal for them at the beginning of this match was to try to keep it tight. They're in a really good position here. One side out, they're right with it. They got to stick with this right to the end.
Chelsea, Mike, Tegan, and Cooper cheering hard for Elise Hart right now, and the Pandas, and watching from Calgary. Also a hi to Elise's other siblings, Eric, Rochelle, Sam. We're cheering from Portland and Kelowna. Go Pandas. So there we go. Lots of Pandas support right now live on Canada West TV. CanadaWestTV at gmail.com if you'd like to join in the conversation. We like to be the most connected broadcast in all of the Canada West. And I can see some of the Spartans men as well watching from the second deck here at the LEC. They're getting ready for their match, but take a look at how this all shook down coming into tonight. The Spartans going to that third and deciding match against Thompson Rivers last weekend. They dropped the first one, forced to win the next two matches, showing some resolve. But the Alberta Pandas, Ron, they have been challenged playing in the best of three, that third and deciding match twice during the postseason so far. Perhaps that could help them going into nationals, knowing what they have that experience playing in those meaningful games.
Definitely a tough team, shows their resilience, and they're going to be ready to go the whole time.
Elise Hart over to Julia Zonneveld. A good-looking play for the Pandas to start things off after that break in the action.
Really like how Zonneveld's sticking with this here. She's getting a lot of volume from the service line, but she's sticking with it, getting a kill there to keep Alberta nice and tight.
Jarman going to Howe, misplays this ball. Purdy from outside of the court, a couple of paces outside of the court, gets it back over to Howe, dropped in shallow. Here's Zonneveld reaching up, two blockers up. Howe will play this ball, but Kamladi now able to make the set. Not a great one, though, poked over by Purdy. Here's Hart. Zonneveld trying to catch some hands, takes out Kamladi once again. Here's O'Doom, but she can't work that through.
Both teams really patient there, willing to keep the ball in play and set up their defense, and Alberta got the better of Trinity there.
Let's add Saskatoon, Saskatchewan to the map as Boris sends us a note cheering for both Alberta teams. Of course, a doubleheader here tonight, Pandas and Golden Bears. Thank you so much, Boris. This ball goes off of Hempel, and now on third contact, it's Purdy. Hart out of the back is Corey White, and that explodes off of Kamladi, goes all the way back up to the second deck where all the cameras are set up to catch some of the action. The coach is putting them there. Good point for the Pandas.
Good job by the Pandas from the baseline, getting Trinity out of system here. Trinity's going to have to get that ball to the net.
The noise picking up once again. Howe, Kamladi couldn't make this set there as that went over to Zonneveld, but the Pandas unable to capitalize. They will go to the offense here. Here's White out of the back row and Gamache right down the line, and this goes out.
Unfortunate miss by White there. Alberta had exactly what they wanted. They're trading it back and forth with Trinity, then able to get the ball to White for a really good swing there. Unfortunately, just a little bit out of bounds.
Avery Hempel, graduate of Langley Fundamental, in her third season of eligibility here in U Sports. Zonneveld mishandles the ball. Eisler, all kinds of power there, but Zonneveld unable to get there in time, so a point for Trinity Western, and TWU back out ahead by one. Huge celebration as well from players on the bench on this Spartan side. Kirsten Campman, Jaden Bonkiss, I believe they were doing push-ups just moments ago. Having some fun here on this Saturday night. Championship Saturday. 2 Canada West titles on the line. And the Spartans women looking to defend their conference title. And so Doom sending it off the block.
Good job in transition there by O'Doom. Didn't hit the ball too hard. Got it nicely on the hands, just a little bit out of bounds.
And so Doom just in her second year of eligibility. Her first full season as a starter. Hart with the pass up, and Zonneveld goes into the net. Hart, though, with some support online as Brian and Diane watching from Sherwood Park, cheering on their niece, Elise Hart, and cheering on the Pandas as well. So we will add Sherwood Park to the map, suburb of Edmonton, if you're not familiar with the area. Timeout call here as Lori Eisler and the Pandas trying to get back in this one. A set that they were in control of early on, but the Spartans now with this 3-point lead. What do you expect over the next few points, Ron?
They're still okay. Lori's going to try to settle them down here, make sure they get the ball to the net. They've had a little bit of trouble with the ball off the net. Puts a little more pressure on White when she gets that ball and it's not in system. So look for Lori just to settle them down, get the ball to the net, run their offense.
You can see it's pretty much a full crowd here at the LAC. Sometimes they open up both sides of the gym, and really cool experience when you get that dynamic. Unfortunately, this time around, basketball provincials, high school basketball provincials happening right now at the same time. So the LAC very busy. Ron, even your son was in action earlier on, right? Wasn't a great result, though.
It was a tough result for the Yale Lions tonight, but they're a younger team. A lot of grade 11 kids on the team, but so they did a good job. Finished and they tied their rank, so we'll see how they do next year.
Avery Hempel out of the timeout. Good serve. This goes off as Sothe and drops over at the Pandas bench. So no coach's timeout for Lori Eisler. She puts her hands on her hip. And his substitution coming up, maybe to switch things up here, with Lauren Tremblay, the sophomore out of St. Albert, stepping on the floor in place of Julia Zonneveld, who has taken a lot of volume on those serves. But Hempel goes into the net, so the team's exchanging points after that break in the action. Trinity Western still ahead by 3.
Big side out here for the Spartans to keep that spacing. They want to be able to put pressure on Alberta right to the end. The side out here is going to be really important.
Here's Elise Hart standing at 6'1". Dora Kamladi on the other side at 5'8". So advantage to the Pandas when it comes to height at the setter position. O'Doom works that one in hard. Second ball from White. Kamladi. Here's O'Doom tipping this one in. Janera Eisler down to the ground. Back set. Corey White goes over to Howe, and she scores.
What a play by Eisler there. Fantastic pickup. And you know, at the end of that, it's going to White, and White finishes that ball.
So Hart and the Pandas with a 2-point deficit, trailing 1-0. Conference title is on the line tonight, and seeding at nationals as well. Kamladi was backpedaling, but this ball sent over, and here's Savannah Purdy. The Spartans still able to make an attack off of it. Kamladi, the back set. Purdy for the second time around scores. She was going up against Warchola and White. Point for Purdy. The Spartans back ahead by 3.
Really nice shot by Purdy. I don't think I've seen her hit 2 shots the same all night. Very, very smart. Chip off the side of the block and gets the kill.
And so Doom now serving. Not the toughest server on the Spartans. Gets this ball across to Eisler. White scores. So one serve for O'Doom here.
Really good job by White there. Big players are going to show up towards the end of these sets. White gets the kill.
So Julia Zonneveld stepping back out there on the floor for a few points. It was Lauren Tremblay stepping in to bolster that serve receive. Now here is Zonneveld. Hillary Howe in the center of this serve receive. This ball goes to her. Purdy with his second contact. And Howe electing just to play it over with her hands instead of making an attack. This goes off the block, and diving forward is Gamache. She gets there in time, and Howe plays this across. Pandas to the attack, right side, Corey White. Here's Howe. Now Kamladi with the center dump. The Spartans score.
Really good job by Kamladi there. The rhythm got broken, and she was able to just dump that over right into the center of the court.
Kamladi not the most offensive setter, but picking her spots, and the setter dump works this time around. Trinity Western ahead by 3. Lori Eisler has used both of her timeouts in this set. Eisler diving forward. Here's Corbett, tips this one up, and it was a tricky one that drops inbounds, and the Pandas will pick up the point. It looked like Anso Doom might have had time to get there, but it does drop, and Alberta scores.
Great energy and pickup by Eisler there again. She's really been stable, and she's really helping them at some key moments. Keep that ball in the air and keep it alive for the Pandas.
Kalista Knappett stepping onto the floor for the first time tonight. A service substitution. Goes directly to Howe. Howe rolling this one over, picked up by Zonneveld. The back set by Hart. White. O'Doom able to get underneath this one, and Kamladi slowing up as that ball was going toward the score table.
Smart play by Howe to keep that alive, but you know that White is coming back, and so you're going to have to stop her at some point.
So Ryan Hofer calling a timeout here, and momentum had started to change as Lori Eisler had called a timeout with the Spartans ahead by 3, 20-17, and here we are with the Pandas now down by 1.
This is a good spot for Alberta. They wanted to keep it tight. You're staying within 2 points. You're going to be able to trade shots here, and at the end of the match, if I'm Alberta, I have no problem putting White out there against anybody on the Spartan side to kill the ball and to finish it.
And we have another email coming in saying, "Hola, Ron Pike." So there you go. Val and Julie Blackburn, some familiar names there. Cheering on the Spartans tonight. Watching from downtown Vancouver. Unfortunately, couldn't make it out here to the LEC. But Val and Julie, thank you so much for joining us.
Two of my favorite people of all time. Julie Blackburn, one of the best liberos that's ever played at Trinity for sure.
So under this Ryan Hofer timeout, all eyes once again on Nappet, the rookie out of Calgary, who will be playing in our hometown next week at Nationals. This ball goes out of bounds, however. Coach's point, and 24-22 is the score. The Spartans poised to take the second set tonight. Up at the net for Trinity Western, you have Howe hitting out of the left side, Hempel in the middle, and Kamladi setting out of the right. This ball will go 2 feet too far. Sitch puts a hands to her chest and saying, "My bad."
Trading misses there. The tough part for Alberta, though, is White's now in the back row, but we know she's effective from there as well. So we'll see in transition if they can get the ball back to her.
Here's White. Sends this ball out of bounds. It almost tagged Anso Doom, who was riding the back line. 25-23, another set settled by just 2 points. It is now must-win territory for the Alberta Pandas. They are down 2-0. Will they respond in the third? You are watching U Sports Women's Volleyball, the Canada West Championship, live on Canada West TV, presented by Co-op.
Co-op Community Spaces is creating places for everyone. We're funding community projects up to $150,000. Apply online before March 2nd. For more details, visit communityspaces.ca.
The architect of one of the greatest teams in Canadian university sports history, Mike Burchuk built a women's volleyball dynasty at the University of Winnipeg. Burchuk coached the Westmen for a decade in the 1980s, overseeing 6 consecutive national championships from 1983 to 1988. Between 1987 and 89, the Westmen won 123 straight matches, a mark unmatched in Canadian university volleyball history. During his 9 seasons at the U of W, Burchuk was named CIAU Coach of the Year 4 times, including 3 years in a row from 1981 to 83. Beginning as an assistant coach in 1980 on the junior national team, Burchuk coached extensively with Volleyball Canada's women's programs over the years. He was an assistant at the 1984 Olympics and served as head coach at the 1996 Summer Olympic Games in Atlanta.
It's the Trinity Western Spartans, the Alberta Pandas, and now must-win territory for the Pandas in this conference championship match. Tim James and Ron Pike with the call, and well, a lot of attention, Ron, going to this one again on Howe and White and offensively what they can do. But when it comes to this serve receive, a lot of pressure is being put on Howe and also Sothe on the Pandas side.
You can definitely see who these coaches are going after in this one. Both those players, though, they're bending a little bit, but they haven't broken. Super tough position to be in, but they're doing a great job.
Corbett with the first contact for the Pandas off of the serve. Gamache will play this ball over. Hart with a back set, and working it over on the right side is Sothe. So she has seen a lot of balls sent her way on the serve, but here she picks up another kill, and it's Alberta scoring first in a must-win set.
Full credit to Sothe there. Again, it's really tough to do the job she's doing, but she's managing to pass the ball as well as attack as well.
Howe going to come Lottie, and Michaela Sitch tipping this one over. Good defense once again by Eisler. Kamladi going for the setter dump. She got that to work in this second set. And White with the right side attack drops this in to score.
Again, there's Eisler picking that ball up in the backcourt, doing a great job. She is all over it right now.
And she's just in her third season of eligibility. Graduate of St. Francis Xavier in Edmonton. The daughter of the coach as well. Kamladi. Turns out to be a joust, but the Pandas getting their hands on that. Sitch unable to touch it. Howe sends this over, takes out the setter. Second ball from Eisler. Here's Hart away from the net. Goes up and drops that one off the block and down on the Spartan side.
Really good off-speed shot by White there. Catching the block coming down, scores the point for Alberta.
More alumni from Trinity Western tuning in. We had Bree King earlier on, and now Ashton McKenzie sending us a note saying she's watching with the Sawatsky and Lloyd families as Howe goes to work from the left side and picks up a Spartans point.
Nice job by the passing there. Get the ball to the net. Get Hillary Howe in system. Let her take a really good swing at that ball. She's super tough to stop.
Now Michaela Sitch, the captain of the team, sends the ball over to Corbett. And Corbett going down the line, picked up by O'Doom. Kamladi out of the back is Savannah Purdy. The Spartans going with a back row attack for the first time. Here's Howe tipping this ball over. Eisler. Corbett with the tip, picked up by O'Doom. Kamladi on the move, pushes this over to Howe. Puts some power behind it, but too much power. No touch and a point for the Pandas.
You can see both teams going back and forth. They're really content to get this set up, to get the ball to their big wing hitters. Unfortunately, Howe a little bit outside on that ball.
There's Lori Eisler, 28th season as head coach of the Pandas. This ball ricochets off of Howe. Lance O'Doom able to track this down, and Purdy spins it across. Big middle kill, though, by Vanessa Jarman, who has been active throughout the night.
Yeah, a little more quiet in the second set there, but nice to see Alberta establishing that middle again early in the third.
Just like this second set, an early lead for the Pandas. They were up 7-2 in that second set, but side out for Trinity Western. And it's important to note as well, Ryan Hofer didn't even use a timeout when his team was down early on. Instead, he was able to get his team to work through that and eventually tie that thing up at 10-all. Here's Dora Kamladi. The setter just clipping the tape as it comes over, and she picks up another ace.
Nice serve by Kamladi, a little bit lucky with the net there, but she'll take it.
Kamladi now up to 2 aces on the night. Also has 1 kill off of a setter dump. Hillary Howe leading the way offensively with 8 kills for Trinity Western. Corbett going up with 2 blockers there, Hempel and O'Doom. Gamache passes this back over her, and Howe looking to catch some hands, but no dice once again.
Just a bit outside for Hillary again there, but good job by the Spartans to get the ball in transition and out to Howe.
We are live on Canada West TV. Tim James and Ron Pike with the call. This broadcast presented by Co-op, and as this ball goes over, it's an ace for White going off of Howe. And you mentioned it just a few moments ago, Ron, that Howe and Sothe seeing a lot of the balls directed. They're bending but not breaking.
They're doing a good job, but I really like what Alberta's doing from the baseline here. They're down 2-0, but they're still coming at the Spartans. They really want to get them out of system here, and so far they've opened up a 4-point lead here in the third.
And so Ryan Hofer will take a timeout in this case. The Spartans with a lead into the technical timeouts in the first two sets, 16-13 in the first, 16-14 in the second. And Ron, you were looking at the emails coming in, and I guess there's a photo of you that's now out from back in your coaching days. As you were the coach, what, 92 to 2007, right?
Yeah, that was a long time ago, but one of my former players managed to dive into the archives there and get a picture of me a long, long time ago. Wondering if I'm a little calmer now, I'm sure, but yeah, it's Jeff Stell, so I better leave it at that. No more comments.
Well, you know what? We love the photos, and also if you have a watch party right now, we're trying to keep tabs of the Instagram and Twitter hashtags. Win the West. Win the West is the hashtag. If you have a watch party, send us photos of that as well. We'd love to take a look at that and mention it during the broadcast. Savannah Purdy has the ball go off of her, so another ace for White on this go-around. Not a good start out of the timeout for head coach Ryan Hofer's Trinity Western Spartans. Hofer seated on the bench. Lori Eisler standing up. Her hands on her hips, and White will tilt her head back in frustration. She gets charged with a serve error.
A little bit of a tough one, but like the little run White went on there, Alberta's staying tough from the baseline. Trinity is really going to have to pass that ball to get themselves back in this set.
Here's Howe. She has played in all 18 sets of the playoffs for the Spartans coming into tonight. Hart going over. And O'Doom plays this shallow. Corey White out of the back row, clipping the tape as it comes across. O'Doom looking for an assist, goes to Purdy. No, Gamache steps in front of Purdy to play the ball. Middle attack by Charmy Gamache, reaching backward, and Purdy couldn't get there in time.
Really good touch by Emma Gamache there, but just a little bit outside of the reach of Purdy coming back to try to get that.
So the Pandas fans with something to cheer about, and Joseph sending us a note. Lucas's watch party in Edmonton right now. They're rooting for the Pandas and the Bears tonight. So Joseph, Lucas, thank you so much for joining us. Play is blown down, and the Pandas will score this point. A violation called against the Spartans. And Ryan Hofer using his second timeout early on. Took the first one back at 3-7 in favor of Alberta. And here's the second one with a 6-point difference in the third set.
Ryan knows he's got to settle them down right now. Spartans are going to have to ease up a little bit, get the ball in the air, at least let Kambladi get back, set up the wing hitters, try to get something out of system. Right now, Alberta's putting a lot of pressure on them from the baseline, and they're not even able to get an attack out of it. Exactly what Alberta wants, and Alberta's the type of team you're going to have to get this figured out, or they're going to keep coming at you.
You can see some of the interesting costumes there from the Spartan faithful, the 300 section as they call it. Great to see the support out here. Only one side of the stands, though, is open, so everyone's packed in on this one side. Very loud along the near side of the screen. Very busy here at the Langley Event Center as well, with boys basketball provincials, high school provincials underway. This ball goes out of bounds off of Corbett's serve, and the Spartans will score the first point out of that timeout. Let's see if Avery Hempel can get things going. You see Anso O'Doom, she's up at the front of the net right now. Sitch in the middle, and hitting out of the left side is Savannah Purdy. Hempel just goes out of bounds as Janae Eisler guides that one. Just a foot too far.
Not a bad serve, though. I like that they're close on that. Least forces Alberta to make a decision on that pass.
Gamache. Kambladi O'Doom powers that one off the block and scores.
Really like that neither of these teams are breaking at all. They're still serving tough. They're swinging at the ball, scoring points. Great job by O'Doom there.
And here we go with the double sub. Olivia Heinen will return to the floor. Heinen with 7 assists in limited action so far. She is wearing number 7 as well. Goes to Corbett. And off this step around Gamache, trying to catch a piece of it. The Pandas will score, so just one serve for Heinen after subbing in off of this double substitution. Jaden Bonkiss, the second of that double sub.
Really good side out by Alberta there. Last time we had a little bit of a run. This time they stopped it right away.
Bonkiss with 1 kill on the night. Howe still leading the way for her team with 9. Heinen Over to Bonkis looking for the second kill. Corbett steps up to pick up the ball in the backcourt. Here's Zonneveld, and she has that ball explode off of Howe, and a point for the Pandas. Zonneveld now up to 8 kills on the night.
Good job by Zonneveld there. Love that swing. Really took a chew at it. Hits off the Spartans and out of bounds for the point.
Corey White leading the way, though, in kills with 17, and she is hitting an impressive .441 here in the third set. Heinen. Bonkis going off the block to score.
Good job by the Spartans trading punches back and forth here. That was a very tough serve reception by Gamache, but got it up enough to take a really good swing at it.
So Pandas get set up in the serve receive here. Hart had to call Zonneveld over. Finally, they get established in where they need to be, and this ball goes to guess who? Zonneveld. Now White going to the attack and spinning that ball off of the block. And Ron, she scored in so many ways, front row, back row, and this one she doesn't put power behind it, but just the perfect placement instead.
Great touch there. Unfortunately, the Spartans got a little bit confused there between Gamache and Howe as to who was going to take it, and the ball drops.
7-point lead for Alberta. Gamache. Here's Howe going to Eisler. After that cross-court attack, Corbett trying to tip this one over and sends this ball shallow, taking out Heinen. And now Bonkis from the right side will push this one over, backing up Eisler. White going to Heinen and scores.
Again, in transition, you don't want to let Alberta get that ball to the net because White is back there, and she's proven her worth with another kill.
Spartans coach Ryan Hofer has used both of his timeouts. Heinen on the move, passes this ball. Howe. Spartans could really use a point here. Good swing by Howe, taking Eisler down to the ground. Now this explodes off of Heinen. Third ball from Sitch. The Pandas going to work. Can they take us to the technical timeout? This goes blocked. Sitch, Howe, and the Spartans within 7 points, getting the block up to score.
Really big block for the Spartans there. Alberta had exactly what they wanted. White on the outside hits the ball sharp cross court. Middle doesn't give up and gets that block.
Sitch with a jump serve going cross court to Corbett. Middle attack. Savannah Purdy diving forward. And Bonkis able to send this between the antennas from a sharp angle. Here's White coming through and drops that right in to the open area. And look at this, 16-8, the Pandas with control. This is the biggest lead so far that we've seen tonight. It is a different looking Alberta team in the third set.
Alberta, I can assure you, will not go anywhere through this match. They're persistent, they're resilient, they're extremely well coached, and they're an intelligent team. Trinity's going to have to pick up their backcourt play. They're passing a little bit here and get themselves back into this. If it goes to a fourth, they need to get their rhythm back.
And as you can see, the men's 3 stars of the week, there's a familiar name as Eric Lepke drawing in as the 3rd star, also named the Canada West Player of the Year on the men's side in men's volleyball. And Hillary Howe there, of course, on the women's side, the 3rd star of the week. So a couple of Spartans cracking those 3 stars in the Canada West. The conference title is on the line. As you can see on the left side of your screen, the fans, they are collecting, they are making some noise, and now they're going back and forth, really trying to rally up the fans who are seated here at the LEC. And Ron, it's always a magical moment when we get that Spartans final point, when they have that chance to win the match. All the fans standing up, raising their arms in the air. And now you've been with Trinity Western a little longer. So was this a tradition that carried through back when you were first coaching in '92?
No, my understanding is that was Coach Ben Joe that started that a number of years back. Really caught on as a tradition for the Spartans. Now everybody's doing it at the end of matches. Yeah, something that they started a few years after my time.
Trying to give you credit, but can't do it. Ben Josephson, there we go. There's the tip by Howe. Zonneveld, did you get underneath it? Yes. And this drops in. Initially, the linesman, I thought he ruled that hit the ground.
He did. The referee can overrule them if the referee has a better angle or feels that the ball was up. So the play continued there. Unfortunately for the Pandas, it ended up hitting their floor anyway.
Yeah, tough to tell on that replay. So here is Dora Kamladi. She's one of the Calgarians out there on the floor who will be playing in her hometown at Nationals next week, hosted at the Jack Simpson Gym at the U of C. Kamladi only 1 serve on this go-around. 8-point lead for the Pandas, and here comes Corey White to serve. White coming into tonight hitting .290. Goes to Howe. Howe, the third star of the week, able to tip this ball across. Corbett repositions, sends that ball into the block as Hempel gets up there. Howe over to her right. And the Spartans hit double digits as well.
Good job. I really like that Hillary is not backing away. She's hitting the ball hard, continuing the play. She's got to keep that going through the rest of the match.
Here is Howe. Her twin brother Jackson Howe will be in action later on tonight in the men's Canada West final. This goes off the block in White. After serving just moments ago, comes out of the back and picks up a kill.
Really nice shot off the block there. Just steady out of the back row to score another point for Alberta.
Kamladi, the set over to Purdy. Zonneveld, last touch off of the Spartans. So Purdy going to work from the left side, couldn't finish. And by the way, the May family is cheering for Savannah Purdy and the Spartans right now. Saying hello to Jacob as well. They're watching from Langford, BC. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll add Langford to the map over on Vancouver Island. O'Doom, Eisler, Hart, and here's White going down the line. A hard one to Gamache. She handles it. Second ball, though, from Hempel, and Purdy rolling this one over. Picked up by Zonneveld, but it'll be tight to the net, and the Pandas can't get there in time. You can see Savannah Purdy is up at the net. Michaela Sitch in the middle. And back to serve is Avery Hempel. Zonneveld. Kamladi going over to Purdy. She gets that one clean through. One of her best swings of the night, putting the Spartans back within 7.
There we go again from Purdy. Another shot. She shows she's got everything there in the toolbox. She's chipping, she's going cross court. That one a really nice shot.
Hempel the jump serve going to Eisler, who took that right at the back line. Second ball from Zonneveld back inside and making a tip on it from the back row is White. Kamladi over to Ansa O'Doom. Hard off the block. Kamladi, this time will try the left side over to Purdy. Picked up by Corbett. Zonneveld with the tip. Takes out Kamladi, so the second ball from Hempel. And here's Ansa O'Doom tipping that one with 2 blockers up, including Jarman. There's the dump by Hart. This rally continues. Here's Purdy, sending it at a sharp angle, scores! Ron, Savannah Purdy is on fire over these last few points.
Unbelievable, another different shot. Purdy cuts that really sharp right along the net. Very difficult shot to execute. She does it to perfection to the outstretched arms of Eisler.
And if there's anyone who could dug up that ball, well, that would be Eisler, but couldn't get there in time, and Hempel will continue to serve. The Spartans are on a run. Eisler with the first contact. Out of the back is White, trying to break the momentum, dug up by Howe. Here's Purdy, hitting it off the block. Spartans can't finish it off here. They're trailing by 6 points, and number 6, Zonneveld making the attack from the Alberta side. This tip back over, and a point for Alberta. Vanessa Jarman finishing things off.
Nice pickup by the Spartans in the back row. Unfortunately, a little bit tight. Alberta's big block was able to put that one away.
More alumni watching live on Canada West TV is Ellie Wendell sending us a note. Jason and Ellie watching from Carinport, Saskatchewan, cheering on the Spartans. Ellie, so great to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining us. Ashton McKenzie, Bree King as well, some former Spartans joining in. And the block goes up. The Pandas will score.
Good job. When you get that stable block from Alberta, they're not going to let a lot through there. Good job pushing that back to the Spartan side for the point.
Here's Kamladi. Sitch gets on top of that one. In a one-on-one up against Sydney Warchola, she wins it. Ansa O'Doom. Her team still down by 7. Hofer has used both of his timeouts. Hart on the move. Here's Zonneveld, an ugly looking set though. Kamladi over to Purdy, tips this one over the block, picked up by White. Hart over to Zonneveld, catches some hands as it comes across, and the Pandas will score.
Again, both teams willing to trade that ball to get the swing. In this case, Alberta Zonneveld finishes that one off for the Pandas.
Emma Gamache in this serve receive with Howe to the left. Savannah Purdy back as well. Anso Doom the farthest back. She hangs on at the end line. Kamladi. And reaching back a bit is Sitch, and play is blown down. The Pandas will score, as that one didn't get over the tape.
Even though there's a spread in the score here, I like that Kamladi is still running the offense. She's ensuring that the balls are antenna to antenna. Unfortunately, that one didn't work out for the Spartans.
Kamladi. Sitch drops it in.
Good job by Kamladi, showing a lot of confidence in her hitter there, going back to her on that play. Sitch is able to finish it off.
Sitch hitting out of the right side, 2 blockers as you can see, and then drops that before Corbett. 15 serving 23. Purdy with the jump serve, goes to Eisler. Hart looking for an assist here. Second ball from Purdy. Howe roll shot. Eisler reaching out. This one, does it hit the ground? Yes.
That was super close. Eisler is all over this ball right now. She's everywhere on the court. She's into the middle. She's up diving. She's also passing the ball really well right now.
Hart passing this ball over to White, hitting from the left side, going to Gamache. Howe will play this through. Hart. And it's a middle attack and a point for Alberta. Sydney Warchola picking up the kill, wearing Aaron Walsh's old number 9.
Good job by Hart there, making sure that the Spartans are remembering that that middle is still there and getting the kill.
Possible set point, Kamladi. Over to Howe, tipping this one. Gamache taking it from outside of the court. But going to work from the right side is Michaela Sitch. Once again, another point. The kill from the right side.
Great step there, really fast arm. Knocks that ball off the block and out of bounds for the point for the Spartans.
And now Sitch. No points to give for Trinity Western. Sends this ball over to Corbett. Here's Hart. Will this finish off the set? White is blocked. Unable to get through 6'4" Avery Hempel. And Gamache now switching places with Purdy, so a changeup in the Spartans' backcourt. Purdy will take a seat on the bench. You can see her there near the top of the screen. But this ball goes into the net. Sitch gives up a service error, and the Pandas have won their first set of the night, but still trail 2-1. It is Championship Saturday. You are watching U Sports Women's Volleyball, the Canada West Championship, live on Canada West TV.
Co-op Community Spaces is creating places for everyone. We're funding community projects up to $150,000. Apply online before March 2nd. For more details, visit communityspaces.ca.
Alberta's Corey White has landed the top honor in Canada West Women's Volleyball. The fourth-year outside hitter was named Wednesday as the conference's Player of the Year after leading the Pandas' attack all season long. White led the conference in kills per set at 4.78, while being one of only 2 players in the conference with more than 1,000 total attacks. The conference's Rookie of the Year is UBC Okanagan's Amaya Perry, who led a strong first-year group for the Heat. Her win marks the first of its kind for UBCO, who first competed in Canada West during the 2011-12 season. Thompson Rivers' Kendra Finch is the Student Athlete Community Service Award winner thanks to her extensive volunteer work for the Wolfpack, including on their I Believe You campaign to raise awareness for sexualized violence. Rounding out the winners is McEwen's Ken Briggs, who is the Coach of the Year. He guided the Griffins to their first Canada West playoff appearance in program history, thanks to a 17-7 record. The final conference game of the season is set for Saturday, March 7th, as the Alberta Pandas travel to take on the Trinity Western Spartans in the Canada West Championship game. The game is scheduled for 7 p.m. Pacific and can be seen on Canada West TV, presented by Co-op.
Emma Gamache and the Trinity Western Spartans taking to the court. Tim James and Ron Pike with the call. And Mr. Ron Pike, of course, you have that Masters of Leadership in business. You're also pretty good at math, though, as you point out. Alberta's actually scored more points in this match than the Spartans, even though they trail 2-1.
Should give Alberta a lot of confidence going into the fourth. I can assure you from knowing Lori and her teams, they are not going anywhere. The Spartans are going to have to step up here and take this one if they want to win this match.
Julia Zonnevel going to the other number 6, Howe, to start off this set. Cross court, taking out Hart, who is the setter. Eisler sending this ball over shallow to the other libero, Gamache. Here's Kamladi. Howe looking for the first point. No, it's going to be an extended rally to open things up here in the fourth. The block goes up, and Sitch gets it for the Spartans.
Good job by Sitch and Howe there, closing in on White. Got their hands up and over the net for the block.
The Pandas taking that third set 25-18, the biggest margin of victory so far, as the previous 2 sets were decided by just 2 points. Sitch going across to Corbett, which we've seen all night with Sitch serving. Corbett hitting it off the block. O'Doom able there to be there for the coverage. Now Howe, roll shot in, picked up by Zonnevel. White with the tip. Howe catches a piece of it. And now we'll go to work, sends that to Eisler. Another extended rally. Corbett hitting that off the block, and a nice swing by Corbett. And this match, rather set, is tied at 1-1.
Really good swing at the end there to finish that playoff. In transition, I'd love to see Howe hit that ball a little bit harder, but unfortunately got back to Alberta, and they transitioned for the point.
This ball sent out of bounds, so the Spartans will score the third point of this fourth set, now leading 2-1. Dora Kamladi to serve. And by the way, we have Stacy, Byron, Ian, and Maya all watching from Calgary right now, cheering on the Pandas and cheering on Elise Hart. So a lot of fans watching in Calgary. Great to have you with us. And Kamladi sending this ball out of bounds. She has gone on a few serving runs here tonight, but not too many. She is arguably the top server for the Spartans.
Yeah, you like seeing your setter put that ball in the court, especially with the front row that Trinity's put up there. Unfortunately, just a little bit out the baseline.
This ball goes off of Howe, so as Kamladi was racing up toward the net, she had to backtrack, and O'Doom is blocked. Jarman, who you mentioned maybe didn't stand out there in the second set, but she has really been prominent in the early stages of the first set, the third set, and here in the fourth coming up with a huge block to put the Pandas back out in front.
Again, when you get Trinity out of system, they're going to be seeing that ball over the shoulder. Real stable block from Alberta there. Nice point.
There's Howe going cross court, scores. As White catches a piece of it, jumping up and down in frustration. She wanted a better handle on it.
I like that shot by Howe, though. She really took a rip on that. That's a tough shot. Seeing that ball coming over your shoulder, but ripping it back to the cross court.
Howe with his serve. Here's White coming out of the back, goes to Gamache. And White has had a few of those tonight where she goes down the line getting the better of the Spartans libero.
Tough serve, but fantastic pass by Alberta to keep that ball up in system and allow White to go to work.
Corbett to serve. One ace on the night, one serve error. O'Doom able to track this one down. Some of the teammates clearing away from the bench. The water bottles go flying as well. Eisler gets the ball to Hart. And Jarman, no touch. She claims there was one, but this goes clean out. And a point for Trinity Western.
Tough break there for the Pandas. I'm not sure if there was a touch, but Trinity got away with one there.
Couple of blockers up, as you can see, but tough to tell on that replay. Here's Hempel. We are tied at 4 points each in the fourth set. Hart with a setter dump. We saw that work for Dora Kamladi earlier on. Hart gets this to fall, and the Pandas back out in front by 1.
Again, nice job by Zonneveld. I like that she passed that ball right on the tape, allowing the setter to dump that ball for a point.
Hart now up to 2 kills on the night. More than 40 assists as well. She has been busy. Kamladi still in the 20s. O'Doom scores from the right side.
I really like that shot by O'Doom, but the Spartans have got to put that ball onto the net. You can only go to the well so many times, and Alberta's got them out of system a lot. They're really going to need to start passing that ball.
Double sub brings in Olivia Heinen. So Kamladi is off, Heinen is in. Back row attack by White. She gets on top of that, but dug up by Gamache. and the Spartans will score. Gamache has had some impressive plays, and here's another one, putting the Spartans ahead by 1.
That was a huge dig by Gamache that kept that play alive.
So Heinen will continue to serve. Janae Eisler back there wearing the green shirt for the Pandas. Sets up in the serve receive. No sets to give for Alberta, and this ball sails out of bounds. Here's Elise Hart. Her first full season as a starter at the center position for the Pandas. Mariah Walsh, part of that bronze medal team at Nationals last year, graduating and moving on. Big swing by Sitch, but dug up. Here's Sonneveld now, puts some power behind it, dug up by Howe. Heinen going over to Bonkiss, looking for her third kill, and this goes out of bounds.
Love this back and forth action. Both teams taking great cuts at the ball. Big defensive plays, keeping the ball in play. Spartans get the better of the Pandas on that one.
And Jessica Bailey spinning around on the ground. She's so excited. The Spartans bench having some fun. Trinity Western out ahead by 1. Here's White. Dug up by Gamache. Howe. Eisler says, I can do that too. Going down the line is White.
Great mix-up shot by White there, going a little off speed, off the block. Very, very smart play there.
Sonneveld, wearing Katie Buckle's old number 6, sends the ball to Gamache. Heinen. Here's Howe. Corbett. Dug up by Purdy. There's the tip by Bonkiss. Middle attack, Gamache reaching forward, gets there in time. And Bonkiss is blocked. Quick reaction. Did this go over the tape? No.
Ooh, that was a tight play there. You can't quite see it from up here. I thought that was going to continue.
You mentioned it's a different angle for you. Have you ever been up to row 25 or whatever we're at here?
I think we're past row 25, and I have never been up this high before.
Hopefully your nose doesn't start to bleed. Heinen going over to Howe, tipping this ball in. A scramble on the Pandas side, and the Spartans will come away with the point.
Good job. The Spartans are sticking with it here. Like the mix up there, score the point on the tip.
The Spartans 2 double subs remain out there with Heinen at the center position. And here is Sitch. You can bet this ball is going to go cross court. Corbett set up to take this one if it goes to that similar spot. Corbett. Hart. Here's White, and that spins off the block. Hempel trying to get that one, catches a piece of it, but spins wildly and goes toward the score table.
Great shot by White again. Great players like that have a big repertoire to draw on, and she did there, reaching high and then cutting back across the block.
Looks like we have another huge viewing party in Edmonton. The Jarman clan watching. We'll get to that in a moment. As Heinen going up there, didn't even have to make contact. She reaches up, and that drops on the Pandas side. So the Jarman clan not enjoying that one, but here we have Murray and Linda, the parents, of course, of Jarman, who's out there. We also have Uncle Andrew, grandparents Rob and Ray, Annika, Kellen. Thank you so much for joining us. We're through that double sub here, and we're tied 9-all. So Dora Kamladi back out there. And so Doom also in now in place of Bonkiss. Here's Hart. And there's a point for Vanessa Jarman. They're cheering back in Edmonton.
The old paintbrush down the middle, just nips the fingers. Really tough one to read for the defenders and drops into the middle of the court.
Collective call of out from the serve receive for the Spartans. The teams exchanging points back and forth, back and forth.
That's all right. I really like that White is still staying in it. She hit that ball hard, makes the Spartans make a decision. Tough that it was out, but love that she's still going after it.
Corbett. O'Doom picking up the first touch and going to work, but it's Corbett who gets out there for the block. Jarman as well. And Jarman tough to get around at 6'2". Erin Corbett, graduate of Harry Ainley in Edmonton. Hempel dug up by Eisler. Nice reach as she dove forward. There's a nice dig by Gamache. And so Doom, she can hit a heavy ball, goes to Corbett. Eisler able to track this down before the score table. And Corbett reaching back a bit, sends this over to Kamladi, takes out this setter. Any touch here from that Purdy swing? No, it'll be a point for the Pandas.
Good job by both teams again. I love that Gamache and Eisler are matching against Howe. They're matching against White and really making it an exciting game back and forth here.
Kamladi, middle attack by Hempel, and the block goes up for the Pandas. So momentum starting to shift here. The teams have been exchanging points. Now it's a 3-point advantage for Alberta. Gamache, here's Purdy. Hits it off of the block as Jarman was going up there. There's the center dump by Hart. She had that work earlier on in this set. Doom goes back to Corbett. Gamache. Savannah Purdy looking to go down the line. Scores.
Really nice chip off the block. She didn't have a lot there to use, but she managed to get that nice little cut down the line.
Hempel going to Zonneveld. Off the give and go with 2 blockers up. This was about to drop on the Panda side, picked up by Jarman. Kamladi, there's Sitch, tips this one, and it's a wild one. The timing not quite there, but a perfect placement that catches White off guard.
Really nice
score.
Really nice point. Again, the passers are trading it back and forth. There is no rest for Zonneveld or Howe from these servers.
Hempel going to Zonneveld, Hart on the move. Here's Zonneveld making that approach from the 3-meter line and gets the best of Howe. And we have a tweet sent our way as well using that hashtag #WinTheWest, and we'll be checking that throughout the night. Sherry sending us a note watching in Cabo San Lucas. Hopefully the weather is nice down there. Saying she's a mom and fan of the club for years. And go Corey White, #1. Well, thank you so much, Sherry. Middle attack by Sitch. The Spartans back within 1 point in the 4th set.
Good job by the Spartans. Keep the whole net balanced. Really good shot through the middle.
I believe the Spartan faithful, all the students chanting Corey, Corey. Let's see if that could affect her at all. And it's Corbett has the ball go off of her, so an ace for the Spartans, and we are tied 14-14. Just moments ago, it was 13-10 for the Pandas, so momentum once again has shifted, now in favor of Trinity Western. And so Doom, graduate of Lord Tweedsmuir in Surrey. There's the dump by Hart. She gets another one.
Great dump, but that was an unbelievable pass by Eisler going hard to her right side, right on the money for Hart to dump that ball for a point.
All those drums banging just a few meters away, but the center able to get the ball across. Off of the Hart serve, Sitch able to roll this one in. Eisler over to Zonneveld, going off the block and falling on the near side. 16-14. The Pandas once again back-to-back sets taking that lead into the technical timeout.
Really important for Alberta to have the lead at this point. It's going to keep pressure on Trinity and going to force them to get the ball to the net. They're really going to have to come back. Still serving tough from both sides. This is definitely a heavyweight match going back and forth here.
8:45 local time. 9:45 if you're watching in Edmonton. And of course, by around this time, we were expecting to start the men's match, but I think no one here at the LEC is complaining that the men's match will start a little bit late. We're seeing some great volleyball for the Canada West Championship between the Spartans and the Pandas. But still to come, the #1 Trinity Western Spartans on the men's side taking on the #2 Golden Bears. And Ron, I don't know if I've ever seen this. They've only had one side of the gymnasium opened up because we have basketball provincials going on. It is standing room only. There are fans lining up there along both sides of the aisles at the edges here. Wherever you can find a spot at the LEC, you're taking it.
This is fantastic. This place is packed. The energy is great, and the players on the court are definitely not disappointing this crowd. It's a great match, and there's no no necessary end in sight. I could see this thing going 5, but the Alberta Pandas have got to go out and earn this for sure.
Here we go through the technical timeout. Both Lori Eisler and Ryan Hofer each with 2 timeouts remaining in this 4th set. But Howe misplays this ball, and it's an ace for the setter. Elise Hart and her fans cheering online. And Tawana McLeod sending us a note, formerly Tawana Wardlaw, of course, Pandas volleyball alumni, sending Panda power, once a Panda, always a Panda. Great to have you with us, Tawana. But the Spartans will score as that goes off the block and drops on the Alberta side. So the teams exchange points after that break in the action.
A little bit unfortunate for the Pandas there. I'm not sure whether White didn't quite see that right, but ball lands and the Spartans get a point.
Savannah Purdy at 6'2" drops this ball in. The Spartans pick up an ace and are back within 1.
That was a really nice serve, very uncharacteristic for Eisler. I think she was pushing back a little bit there. Ball lands just in front of her. Good serve by Savannah.
And Hart able to get there. Zonnevel will play this between the antennas. The Spartans offense going to work. Stepping around is Michaela Sitch. That's worked before. Does this paint the line? No, this just goes out of bounds.
A little bit surprised they went back there with Howe in the front row, but just outside, and the Alberta keeps control.
Kamladi. Once again, Howe targeted on the serve. Zonneveld back to put this ball in play. You can see White, she's up at the net as well. Collective call of out as that sails past Purdy and O'Doom out of bounds. Trinity Western within 2.
Real interesting shift there by Hofer, sensing a little bit of pressure on Howe. Moved her up in the serve-receive rotation, brought O'Doom in. Server missed the baseline there.
Here's Sitch with NCAA experience, formerly playing for Portland State, puts the ball into the net.
Tough ball, like to see that one go over, force Alberta to make a decision. Unfortunately, didn't quite make it over the tape.
Lots of noise on that Alberta side. Howe mishandles it once again. And who's going to play the third ball? Howe is going up toward the net. Gamache looked like she could have stepped in. And Ryan Hofer using his first timeout.
A little bit of miscommunication there. Good timeout by Hofer. They've got to collect themselves here. Alberta's continuing to keep pressure on them, so they're going to have to step up, score some points here.
And Sarah Lynn sending us a note, trying to send some good vibes to Trinity Western, saying go Hill, Dora and Emma, an honor to mentor those 3 and always cheering big for them from Alberta. That's Sarah Lynn Stell joining us. CanadaWestTV@gmail.com. By the way, if you're watching and you're using Twitter or you're using Instagram, it's #WinTheWest. We'll be checking that throughout the night as this is Championship Saturday. 2 Canada West titles on the line. The Spartans, the defending champions, coming into tonight. And Nationals not far away next week, March 13th to 15th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the University of Calgary at the Jack Simpson Gym. And Ron, we were talking about this earlier. The team that wins this may as well be the #1 seed. We'll wait to see how that's determined. But the first seed will be playing the 8th seed, likely the Calgary Dinos. That could be a tough first-round opponent at Nationals.
That is definitely not a matchup I would be looking forward to. Jack Simpson, a tough gym to play in. Calgary's a very good team and will not be an easy first-round matchup by any means.
Howe targeted on the serve once again. That's an ace for Knappett, who's seen some limited action here tonight. Let's see if this ball goes to Howe. She takes a few steps up, so Anso O'Doom really taking that spot if the ball goes to a similar area. It's now a 3-player serve receive. Purdy in the middle. Gamache over to the right. This ball goes to Purdy. Kamladi dumping this one over. It's worked for Hart, but not this time for Kamladi. Kamladi making an attack and scores. Who needs the center dump when you can power that ball over at 5'8"?
Great little chip by Kamladi there. Hit the person back in 6. Couldn't recover it, and Spartans get a point.
Yeah, the person back in 6 was Zonneveld, who is wearing number 6. A 4-point deficit for Trinity Western. Here is Kamladi. Can she go on a serving run right when the Spartans need it here in the 4th? Hart with the back set over to White. The dig there by this setter, Kumlati. White once again and scores.
You can't go to the well too many times. You give the ball to White or give her a second chance. She is going to put that thing away. Good job by the Pandas there to score that point.
And White going to the back row. Coming into tonight, 129 kills in the playoffs for Corey White. To put that in perspective, Hillary Howe, also a very respectable player. Compared to that 129, she had 73 kills coming into tonight. But of course, one more match played for the Pandas as they've been into two third matches in those best of three series to get to this point. So 6 matches overall played in the playoffs for Alberta, 5 for Trinity Western.
Yeah, I talked with Lori a little bit before the game and asked her about White. She said that she is just resilient. She can keep going. She handles huge volume for the Pandas, and they keep going to her when they need the key points, and you can see that in this match right now.
23 serving 18, and Hillary Howe is back in this serve receive. She's to the right of Gamache. Kumlati is right next to her, will be racing up to the net momentarily. White going toward Howe, who gets underneath this one. Kumlati back over to Howe. This would be a big point, goes off of the block. Jarman was up there. Now Jarman going up for a swing, drops this in. Gamache down to the ground. Impressive play by the libero, sent over shallow by Purdy. And Jarman going to Gamache, who somehow gets her hands up there. Extended rally. Corbett going to O'Doom, second ball from Gamache, and Howe coming up will tip this one over. Now the Pandas perhaps in control, and coming out of the back is White, who has been a lights out tonight. Gamache, here's Howe, no touch. And the Pandas now 1 point away from taking us to a 5th and deciding set for the conference title. No more timeouts for Spartans coach Ryan Hofer. Kumlati, Avery Hempel. Here's Hart, out of the back. Spinning that one is Corey White, the Canada West Player of the Year, picking up the 25th point for the Pandas in this set. And it's very fitting. We are off to set number 5 to decide who will have the conference title. Will it be the Spartans? Will it be the Pandas? We'll find out in just a few moments. You are watching U Sports Women's Volleyball live on Canada West TV, presented by Co-op.
Co-op Community Spaces is creating places for everyone. We're funding community projects up to $150,000. Apply online before March 2nd. For more details, visit communityspaces.ca.
It is go time for the conference title. The Trinity Western Spartans taking on the Alberta Pandas. It all comes down to this. Nationals next week, but the Canada West title on the line. The Trinity Western Spartans, of course, the defending champions. And Ron, going into this, well, this is obviously a match that the Spartans and the Pandas would like to get through and get ready for nationals. But the conference title on the line, and this match does mean a lot. It's more than just a title.
Oh, for sure it's more than just a title. These are competitors. They are competitive teams. They're big-time programs, and they want to take this match. There's a lot of psychology involved, and there's no doubt both these teams want to win this.
Savannah Purdy picking up the ace to start things off, and she serves tough once again as the Pandas are able to get the ball over on third contact. Gamache taking this shallow. Kamladi over to Hillary Howe. All kinds of power. It's an ace for Purdy, a kill for Howe, and the Spartans open a 2-point lead in the fifth set.
Great start by the Spartans. I love that Howe took a real rip at that ball, scoring the second point. They're up 2-0.
Once again, the hashtag is WinTheWest if you're watching on Twitter or Instagram. The email CanadaWestTV@gmail.com. Corey White going to work, leading this match in kills. Sends this over to Anso Doom. And now Howe looking for her second kill of the set. Won't get it here. Hart coming over, passes up the ball. Sothe looking to tip this one off the block. Was going to drop on the Panda side, so picked up by Eisler. Now White sending it over to Kamladi. Gamache with his second contact. Here is Howe once again, and she drops this in for her second kill of the fifth set.
Really nice off-speed shot from the Howe. Catches the defender standing a little bit, still able to drop that in the middle of the court.
And Lori Eisler using her first timeout early on here in the fifth and deciding set. Pushing the men's match a little late as we approach 9 o'clock local time, 10 o'clock if you're watching in Edmonton. Thank you so much for joining us as it gets a little later on, and don't forget to spring your clocks forward as well. I'm looking over at the men's volleyball team on the Spartans side. They are all ready to go here. But of course, we have a conference title to hand out.
Good time out there by Eisler. You don't want to let this fifth set slip away from you too quickly. A lot of energy from those points. The fans are into it. The Spartans are into it. They just Pandas take a little bit of a break here, come back, pass the ball. Hopefully they can get a side out.
And we had Tony send us a note, Tony and Jill watching right now, and they want to shout out for Delia, Alberta. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. I spent 4 years living in Alberta. Never visited that community, but and Tony's saying, I saw the picture Jeff sent you, looking good, so correct with you, Ron. And look at this. The Spartans continue this momentum. Savannah Purdy has had 3 tough serves to start this one off.
Great serve by Purdy there to keep this run going for the Spartans.
Eisler and the Pandas trying to work through this one. This one goes to Eisler. Hart will take it from outside of the court. Zonneveld spins it into the net.
Tough break there. Alberta really needs to get that ball into the air. Let Hart settle under it so they can get a really good swing at the ball here.
Corey White is on that far side of the court. Let's see if this ball will go to her. If there's a good pass. Hart getting this over to White. And the star player is blocked by Michaelin Sitch, the 5th year on the Spartans.
The Spartans knew where that one was going. They were all over that with the block. Really nice keeping their hands down. Make sure that that ball goes back into Alberta's side.
And Lori Eisler using her second timeout. Who expected this going into the fifth set? It was the Pandas winning 25-18 in the third, 25-18 in the fourth. All kinds of momentum. And here we are, Trinity Western out 6-0 in the fifth.
This is a dream start for the Spartans. You want to get that lead. 6 points is a fantastic lead. They're going to have to keep pressure on Alberta, though. Keep serving tough. Make sure Alberta's got to earn their way out of this.
And I think this is the first time that we've seen somebody watching from Kazakhstan, as David Nappet sending us a note. He's the dad of Callista Nappet, of course, who has seen limited action here tonight. Well, David, thank you so much. Hello to you in Kazakhstan. I'm not even going to guess what time it is out there right now. A little different than the, 9:02 we have here on the West Coast. Savannah Purdy continuing to serve, and once again, if Alberta does get a serve anytime soon here, all the fans are collected, that student section on the Alberta side. Zonneveld misplays this ball. Eisler going over to White, goes off the block. No surprise she got the ball there, Ron.
No, and good finish by White. Not ideal in terms of the pass or the set, but great players find ways to score, and White puts that one down.
Kamladi on the move. Gets there before the score table, and Savannah Purdy sends this across. Pandas going to work here. Right side now for White. She's already picked up a kill from the left side, gets one from the right, and she has both the points in this set for the Pandas.
Yeah, White's going to have to get them back in this. You know they're going to lean on her at this point in the match.
Well, Corey White has her family in Edmonton watching live and in the Spartans gym as well. So we just got an email from CanadaWestTV@gmail.com. And that's Dora Kamladi with a center dump. Ball sent back over. Gamache. Here's Kamladi. And Howe. Hart setting up the offense again, and the block gets up, not letting White get through. Corbett spins this one, but goes out of bounds, and the Spartans with a 5-point lead once again. Here's Michaela Sitch, Janae Eisler in this serve receive, Corbett to her left, Zonnevel to the right, Zonnevel diving forward, this is going to go off the net, played there, and Kamladi. Stepping around is Hempel, who gets the better of the block, and the Spartans up by 6.
Again, really good use by Kamladi of all her hitters. Great time to do it. They've got a gap in the score. She's making sure that everybody's available for her for the rest of this match.
Well, the Alberta Pandas have won 11 Canada West championships, most recently in 2017. But they are down by 6 points. An impressive regular season in that 2017 campaign, going 22-2, the Pandas did. The Spartans also going 22-2 during this regular season most recently, their best season in program history. All eyes on Sitch. And she'll surely have some fans watching at Nationals next week. She is from Airdrie, just north of Calgary. Sitch goes to Corbett. Maybe too much on that pass though, and Hempel picks the perfect spot.
Good job by Hempel. Stay with that ball. Find a deep spot in the court for the point.
Sitch has been serving to Corbett all night long, and here we go. She'll set up in the serve receive. Corbett will once again. Sitch with just one ace though on the night, and this ball goes out of bounds. That's now her 6th serve error. She has more serve errors than anyone else on the Spartans. And here's reason to cheer in Kazakhstan right now as Nappet returns to the floor, service substitution. Nappet with one ace, one serve error. Jump serve goes into the net.
That's a bit of a tough one when you have serving subs come in. You really want them to get that ball in to put pressure on the opponent. Unfortunately, that one just caught the tape.
Hofer looking on, he's right along the sideline. Lori Eisler standing, her arms once again attached to her hips. Kamladi. Here's White going cross court, taking out the setter. Gamache over to Howe. Dug up by Eisler and goes out of bounds.
Great swing by Howe. Impressive dig by Eisler. Unfortunately, just outside for Eisler. But again, great swing by Howe to score that point.
It has been all Trinity Western in this 5th set. White trying to get her team fired up. She had the first 2 kills for the Pandas in this set, but Alberta unable to establish any momentum. Zonneveld, and here's the ball going to White. The Canada West Player of the Year, able to work this one through, and a scramble on the Spartan side. And she will go back to serve, and maybe this is the player who you want to be serving right now, your best player, going back to put this ball in play. White with 3 aces tonight, leading her team in that category. Also has 5 serve errors. Serves this one hard to Gamache. Kamladi, the back set over to Howe, scores.
Great job by Gamache on that pass to keep it in the air. Big players play at big times. There's Howe to get the kill.
The Pandas fans watching online trying to send good vibes here. Alberta is down, but not out yet. If there's any team that can battle back in the Canada West, it's the Pandas, and Howe going into the net. So Corey White is still in the back row.
Not ideal for the Pandas, but she's effective from the back row, so I can still see her getting the ball and trying to get the Pandas back into this one.
Corbett going to Gamache. Here's Kamladi on the move. Savannah Purdy dug up by Eisler. Sonneveld able to track it down, but can the Spartans capitalize on this Gamache? Good ball over to Kamladi. Faking his Hempel. Two blockers still get over, but Sothe able to get that one through.
That was a massive kill from the right side. Looks like the block was a little bit split there, and she was able to find that seam and pound that to the middle of the court.
Avery Hempel. That ball goes out.
Really like that the Spartans are still going after this. They are not giving Alberta anything easy, putting a lot of pressure on them with their serve.
6 serving 13. Standing room only at the LEC. Gamache down to the ground. Kamladi over to Purdy, who rolls that one off the block.
There's Purdy again with a fantastic chip off the block to score a point, put us into game, set, and match point.
And we talked about this, Ron. The Spartan faithful now standing to their feet, raising their arm in the air, one finger as well. It is electric here at the LEC. Sothe gets the ball across. Hart out of the back row is White and goes off of Gamache, picked up by Howe. Gamache will play this one over. No points to give for the Pandas. Hart over to Sonneveld, and she scores.
Good job by Sonneveld there to finish that play under a lot of pressure. Manages to find the block and chip it out of bounds.
7 serving 14. White is now in the front row. Look for her to get the ball from Hart. This serve needs to go over. Step one, it does, and it's a good one. It's an ace for Hart.
Nice serve by Hart, taking that down the line a little bit short. Caught Purdy off guard, scoring a point from the baseline.
Lori Eisler walking over, gives a nod to Hart. Let's see if this ball goes back to Purdy. She's in this serve receive with Howe to her right, and Gamache on the near side. Right at the back is Sothe. This ball goes into net. Your reigning, defending, undisputed Canada West champions for a second year in a row, the Trinity Western Spartans.
Great job by the Spartans to come back in that 5th set after losing 3 and 4 and showing why they are one of the best teams in the country. That's going to set them up really well for nationals next weekend.
It looks like Trinity Western is poised to be finishing first in the seeding. That would have them taking on the Calgary Dinos, the host team, in that opening round. Well, Ron, what more could we ask for here? Two of the best teams in the Canada West. A great showdown on this Saturday night. The Pandas pushing after dropping those first 2 sets, but it's the Spartans ultimately taking it here.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm sure the Pandas are going to be a little bit disappointed in that 5th, but what a match. Trading shots back and forth. Super impressed with all the players attacking the ball. Really loved watching Gamache and Eisler rising to the challenge, making big digs, passing the ball. It was a fantastic match. Credit to both sides for that.
Corey White leading the way with 28 kills for Alberta. A respectable performance. Hillary Howe, last check, 15 kills as we still wait for a refresh online on those stats. The Canada West champions, the Trinity Western Spartans, and of course we still have more volleyball here to come tonight. On the men's side, it's the number 1 Spartans taking on the number 2 Alberta Golden Bears. And the hardware is coming out as well. A Canada West title, Ron. How do you think Spartans coach Ryan Hofer feels, knowing, hey, he's got nationals, he's still got lots of work to do, but can he celebrate tonight?
Oh, he will celebrate, no doubt about it, as he gives his wife a hug over by the bench there. These games are what you play for. These teams want to win them. You want to put the hardware into the drawer, so to speak. You want to have it, and Hofer's got another one, so credit to him. Spartans, they've been the number 1 team all year long. They've been chased. They've had pressure on them. They rose to the challenge here, and they won the championship.
And you know, when we were looking at the email, I saw lots of Spartans alumni watching, but I also imagine there were a few players from the opposing team, say the Calgary Dinos. Beth Vanel and her teammates, I'm sure, watching online, doing a little bit of scouting as well for this match. What do you think were the key takeaways for some of those teams that could be playing the Spartans next week?
Well, whoever's playing either of these teams, they better be careful. These teams have the ability to attack the ball in a lot of different ways. They have powerful players, player of the year in white. They've got Hillary Howe that can hit the ball. The libero stepped up. Probably saw a little bit in serve reception, some of the things that they might target as well. But I think the best advice coming out of this weekend for any team watching is do not underestimate either of these teams, or they could make you pay.
The player of the match is coming up in just a few moments, and of course the gold medals and the silver medals still to be handed out live on Canada West TV here at the LEC. And it's Elise Hart who's congratulated on the Pandas side.
Elise did a really good job tonight moving the ball around. When she got the ball at the net, she established the middle. Excellent game for her.
And it's Hillary Howe on the Spartans side, the Canada West third star of the week, getting the mini volleyball just moments before that hardware is handed out. Jeff Gamache down there, athletic director at Trinity Western University, wearing those Our House shirts, selling some new shirts going into this one. Ron, I still can't believe how full the LEC is, and I have to wonder if the basketball is done on the far side for the men's match. Do we open up both sides here, give the fans somewhere to sit?
That would be sure nice to see, because the way it's going right now, they might pack both sides.
Nationals, of course, next week. This will be my final Spartans broadcast. Last year, I had the chance to go out to the University of Alberta and actually do some of the play-by-play, follow Trinity Western around. I remember Bree King was walking by me and she took a look. Wow, I can't believe our broadcaster made the trip out here. So a really cool experience. And also a tip of the cap to the U of A crew. Grayson, Tasha, Matt, the team doing it, and then Connor Hood as well behind the scenes. All of you guys do an amazing job. I was watching some of the broadcasts earlier on from back in October when these two teams met during the regular season. You do a fantastic job at the U of A, but you know what, Ron? I bet that the University of Calgary, when they're hosting nationals just 1 year after U of A hosted, they're going to do a bang-up job because they want to make sure they did a better job than the U of A.
I could see a little bit of rivalry there. Calgary does an excellent job hosting all the schools in Canada West when they get a crack at this, but Calgary is a really big volleyball community, a lot of history and tradition there with the national teams being there, and they are going to put on a show, no doubt.
And as you see the Alberta Pandas being handed those silver medals, what kind of advantage do you think they're going to have next week? Because it's only about a 3-hour drive down the QE2 to get from Edmonton to Calgary. Do you think we're going to see a lot of green, white, and gold in the stands there at the Jack Simpson?
No doubt. Alberta's got a fantastic following. They got great fans, and they will be at those games for sure. I don't know how much of an advantage it gives the teams that are in the province. They get a good amount of prep. All the teams will be there early to get their practices in and get their feet under them before what I'm anticipating will be an amazing national championship this year.
So what do you think going forward here for Lori Eisler, who you know as well? And just give us some background here, as you've actually coached with Lori Eisler, or you've been on the same committee, that is?
Lori and I never coached together, but we're longtime friends. We were both the presidents of the Coaches Associations a number of years back, and I got to know Lori. Fantastic coach, definitely one of the greatest coaches of all time in women's volleyball.
But it's Ryan Hofer who is celebrating here. Jeff Gamache coming over, the athletic director, giving him a big hug. Joel Pessett as well, assistant coach. Richard Kaufman, Bryden McTavish. As the gold medals are moments away from being handed out here at the Langley Event Center, with the men's match still to come.
Special moment for these girls to put that on. There's nothing like winning one of these in front of your home crowd. This crowd has been spectacular tonight, and these ladies on the floor are going to remember this one for a while.
Dora Kumlati being recognized here as Johnny calls her name out over the PA, and good job to Kumlati stepping in, as she was in a battle at the start of the season. It was Olivia Hine and Dora Kumlati exchanging who would start in each match, but eventually it was Kumlati who pulled away, but Hinen still seeing a lot of action in that double sub.
Yeah, I really like the way Ryan's using them. Interesting that they're used at the beginning of sets, which is a little bit different. Sometimes that double sub will happen a little bit later, but very effective for the Spartans. A couple times tonight, got some nice runs out of those two coming in. Obviously very quality players for them to be able to do that and not miss a beat.
As the medals are being handed out here, I mentioned a few moments ago, my final broadcast is I will not be doing nationals this year, but a big thank you to some of those Spartans viewers who have been watching right throughout the regular season and into the playoffs as well. You know who you are, the Hofers, of course. On the men's side, the Lepke family. Thank you so much for joining us throughout the season. It's so great. You know, I don't do this for money, Ron. It's not for the money. It's for the love of the game, honestly. And also when those parents come up to me, like Eric Lepke's mom, Sandy, came up to me just a few weeks ago and said thank you so much because she can't be here. She's back in Steinbach, Manitoba, and how much she appreciates being brought as close as she can to the action. So a tip of the cap also to the LAC crew who do a fantastic job on these broadcasts.
Yeah, this is fantastic for families that can't make it out to these games. It's too bad because the energy here tonight is just fantastic, but hopefully we've been able to communicate that a little bit tonight and they've enjoyed the broadcast.
9:18 local time, so it will be a later start for the men's match, but maybe the most fun part of this, the second year in a row the Spartans get to do this. The 5th year's coming over with the banner that will be going up here at the LEC and the trophy right next to it, maybe a photo to start things off, and then we'll get to that celebratory moment that the Spartans had last year in Calgary, defeating the Dinos in the conference championship. A Dinos team they could be playing next week on the Friday to start off the national tournament, but here you are.
Great moment for these ladies. Really classy on the part of Alberta to stand there and give them an ovation as well. But Trinity earned that one tonight. Really good job.
The Spartans taking the first set 26-24. The second set 25-23. So both sets early on decided by just 2 points. The Pandas would come to play in the third, 25-18. That would be the same margin of victory in the fourth, 25-18. But ultimately it was Trinity Western jumping out to a hot start, forcing Lori Eisler to use timeouts early on, and it was all Spartans in the fifth set, taking it 15-8. Thank you so much for joining us. For Sports Information Director Scott Stewart, Manager of Media and Marketing Mark Jansen, the whole crew here at the LEC putting the broadcast together, and Ron Pike on color commentary tonight, my name is Tim James. Good night from Langley.